You know, Victoria, we call it a wee bit nipple outside.
It is very cold.
How nipple was it this morning when we got in the car?
When we got in the car, -6 degrees Celsius.
That's cold.
It was really
I
cold.
tried to explain to Victoria that back in the old country, we used to walk to school both ways uphill in the snow in the cold.
Both ways.
That's right. It'd be like minus is like 0, like Fahrenheit, which is like a wee bit nipple. But
Yeah, not nice when it's that
I still
cold.
have issues with all that. Like,
Issues, really.
I just you can't get me to walk uphill both ways to see, and none of my life depended on it. Sizzle, yo, Joe, yo.
Welcome,
Jim,
you
yo.
guys.
Look at all these
Let's get
triple
started.
D. Look at the hair, silver fox.
Hell, hairs.
Ooh.
Look at them. Little curlies.
I got so
Look
many
at those
hairs and
curls.
so much muscles. Stella Jim, Tony Doyle, Lisa LaRock.
Stella Jim.
Stella Jim. All these MM and Triple D people. Yo, so
Yes.
today we've got a very impotent show. It's going to be called the Lazy and Crazy Your Questions Answered Live Show. And look at all that. Candace, yo.
Okay, so it's your manifesting questions answered live on
Yo.
the 9th of July.
2021.
Oh, I did it wrong. Welcome to another Feel It Real Fun on the 9th of July 2021. Your manifesting questions answered live.
Oh my God. You can tell she's cold.
I'm cold. So, go to freeneville.com.
221 email pseudo. Or just go to easymanifesting.com. Start playing the manifesting game with us, right? Easymanifesting.com.
7 days, easy and free.
That's right. It's fun too.
Yeah. Oh, and fun. Yes.
Some people don't like having fun though. They're like, I'm watching the videos and that's all.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
You know, if you stayed in our little cottage out back, you'd be freezing your nipples off right
You
about
would.
now. But
Well, you could stoke up the pot belly. It hasn't
yeah.
even been stoked yet.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like 15 to 25 minutes a day, price of a cup of coffee, about the amount of time it takes to drop a cup of coffee. And what happens, suddenly your life has changed, right? Because you do something different. But meanwhile, that's Manifesting Mastery course. Look at all
And
these
for
hairs.
refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
Hey, you can watch over 1,000 of these. That's right. Tony Doyle says, freeze your nipples off.
Yeah.
That's right. Boom.
Yes.
All right. That's right, Joe Weldon. I got my lav mic on. It's called a lav dance.
A lav mic.
Yeah, lavalier. Lavalier.
A lavalier.
All right, so shall we, Victoria?
Okay. Purple.
Don't read the comments.
Okay.
You always leave
All
the
right.
farm when you read the comments.
So, the first question is from Manifesting Mastery, Melissa.
That dark mockery is a dirty mind.
Easy state akin to sleep.
Right.
So, Melissa says, I need help
Yes, you do.
getting into SATs in an easy way. Getting
Cool.
into state akin to sleep in an easy way.
Take a pee.
Or let me warm my hands by the fire. When it's this cold.
Something like that. Easy as pie. Because you're doing it all the time. And most people, they do is go, there's a bill coming.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a shut-off. Anyway, continue, Victoria.
If I just do try to get into SATs so quickly, sometimes my mind is still racing with thoughts and anxiety. Sometimes I start to imagine my scene, and it's hard to visualize what I want to imagine, and I try to feel it as real.
That's that whole thing of, like Neville says, this is not an act of will, it's an act of surrender.
Yeah.
So like whenever you take a pee, I mean, like literally think about it. You walk around all day, at least I do. I hold it in. Right? Just hold it in. I mean, I'm at the pool, holding it in, right? Hanging out with Victoria in the garden, holding it in. And like every once in a while, I just surrender to that sweet feeling.
Hopefully while you're on the toilet. Yeah.
So while you surrender to the state akin to sleep, then you surrender to what you would feel, what you would experience if your wish were fulfilled. I'm guessing that you're probably making a scene more like a movie. Check out the video series Scene Creation Secrets or something like that at feelitrealfun.com. But I'd really begin with the end. What do I feel whenever I hear her yum? Ooh, that nails lunch. So that's how easy you can let it become.
Yes.
But let's go on with your second question.
So there is. So thanks, Melissa, for that question. The next one from you, from Manifesting Mastery, Melissa, we've titled Neville Goddard Self-Concept.
That's right, everyone said.
And Melissa says, I'm having feelings that I could be doing more in terms of waking up earlier, having hobbies, etc. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I have a desire to wake up earlier and have hobbies that I love and to change how I view myself. I asked my dad if he would consider me productive. And he
This
said,
is always a good one.
no.
Victoria, do you think I'm productive?
No. No, I'm lazy. And I asked why. He said, I don't. Why? And he said, I don't wake up early enough and that I need to cook, clean more and make more money. If he's calling me lazy, does that mean that I believe I am?
Probably means you are. But you work hard at SATs, you got it? So here's the fun thing. What you really get to do, see, I love irony, I really do. Like I am like the most ironic person I've ever met, right? So like so it sounds to me like you might be hungry, a little tiny bit at least. Here's what I'd do. Stop eating till you cook something. If you don't cook it, you don't eat it. Suddenly, cooking becomes a lot more interesting, right? So I just noticed, like, what can you become infinitely more curious about? Because I notice so many people, they're not lifelong learners. They really don't have any interest in much of anything. They're just filling their days full of distractions and staring like lumps on logs and stuff.
Stirring lumps on logs.
Staring like the lumps
staring.
on logs. But I can promise you, if you decide I'm not going to cook it unless I eat it, right? Or I'm not going to eat it unless I cook it. You got to get things in the right order, right? Yeah, you'll find yourself surrendering to your hungers and being moved by your assumptions a lot easier. So I'd let it become that realistic, quote unquote. And I know someone's going to say, well, yeah, whatever. Here's the thing. Before you can take a walk, you have to imagine something that gets you moving, right? Before you can cook something, you have to imagine something that implies that you cooked, right? And if part of it involves you taking a solemn vow right now, everybody put up your hand, right? Let's put your hands on the screen like the screen is the Jesus, right? Tony Doyle, man, look at all your sizzle points. Nice, man. You know, like whenever you let it be that practical, like the whole thing, like when I moved to Australia, one of the promises I made myself was, so I'm setting up a new business, right? And what I'm going to buy with my extra money, it involves like alcoholic beverages, right? Because I enjoy them, right? Now here's the thing: if I dick around, I get Cougar bourbon, right? Not a fan of Cougar bourbon, right? But if I actually make some money, right, then I got buy something like Lafroig, right?
What a bummer. That's good.
So I love me Cougar bourbon now. So it's just have some fun with it, and notice how this weaves into its the other questions as we continue.
Yeah, because actually, Melissa, one thing I thought of as well, I know for me, you said you want to be, you'd love to have some hobbies that you love, and I found for me when I find hobbies that I love, and I've had a few of it, I slip into sats all the time while I'm doing that hobby.
Absolutely.
Like
nice.
Even as you cook, if it was just cooking for yourself, as you stir that sauce and smell it, and it's like for me out in the garden doing my yoga. Before it used to be, I used to do a lot of crafty stuff, painting, sewing, all sorts of craft, and I just slip into sats all the time. So yeah. I reckon that'd be
And this is
ace.
really cool because, like, some people, like, they'll start making pescetti sauce, right? And now actually they'll start having flashbacks about when they were given shut-off notices or when their uncle got homeless under a bridge or something like that. And they just stare into the sunset while the sauce burns because they've put themselves into, like, that instead of, like, imagining into something lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
So take those little moments, like promise you'll never eat a meal again unless you cook it. And while you're cooking it, and by cooking it, I don't mean what my buddy Cube calls cooking, being like 60 seconds in the fucking microwave, right? That's
Yeah.
not cooking, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's funny, I go to the pool and people mention things like, oh yeah, you warm it up, I warm it up for 30 seconds in the microwave. And I go, micro what? And I say, like, yeah, we've got some really advanced technology. We've got this thing called a pressure cooker and this thing called a slow cooker.
We do.
And it's fun, right? Versus like 60 seconds. Like, fuck me.
Yeah.
But let's continue, Victoria. That was
Okay,
great.
excellent.
The whole thing. Good
Yeah.
hobby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Melissa, for your 2 questions.
Boom.
The next question's from Manifesting Mastery. Mike, what is attention? Mike asks, TT, quick question. I see that attention is like a flashlight that we shine onto things. But what is attention?
So I know Joe Weldon's here. I don't know if Grant Monk is here, but I need one of you guys to name something for me. So whenever the movie starts out and they show you like
The opening shot.
Detroit, and then they zoom in a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more. Next thing you know, there's a black man in the back of a truck selling cigarettes, right, without tax stamps.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole thing starts with this massive scene. What's that scene called? Right. You guys brought it up in one of the club calls or something like that. But they call that scene something. That first framework of like Detroit, and then they zoom in. Right. So
Watch out for Joe. Come on, Joe, tell us.
establishing shot. Cool.
Oh,
Thanks, Jake.
Jake,
Cool.
thank you.
You're a rock.
Establishing shot.
You're a rock
Or
master shot. Cool.
master
Oh, we've got
shot.
dueling going on. I gotta go with Joe Weldon because he typed it all in caps. Yeah. So you got that master shot, that establishing shot, and then it zooms in.
Got
And it's sort of like when you walk into a bar. I got a couple guys here, right? So you walk into the bar, and what do? Boom, right? You just take in the whole bar.
All right,
Right.
and then you focus down on
And then you notice,
Yeah.
damn, right? So that flashlight of attention just zeroes in on her.
Right.
Now, if it does it for too long and too tight of a way, it starts to freak her the fuck out a little bit, right?
Or freak everyone out. Like, what are you staring at?
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's awareness, big picture, and then there's attention, which you end up getting devoted and drawn into. What do you call it? Object fixation as a pilot?
Yes, so we did.
Yeah, yes, we did. Next thing you know,
Object
look at
fixation.
look at that tree. The opening of Sharky's Machine with Burt Reynolds. Joe, get us a link.
Sharky's Machine with Burt Reynolds.
Yes. By the way, we just did it. Here's the whole thing about the show. We can see the
Yeah,
light, the thing,
and then we zoomed
and then we zoom in on the
focused in on,
the Joe
gave
Weldon.
attention to,
Right.
like what Joe's, but yeah, typed in.
So watch how this fits in with the rest of the show. How was that? Was that good?
That was ace.
I thought it was excellent. Like that was my best explanation of that ever.
Wow. Okay.
Hoo-ha.
Okay. So,
Object fixation, Sissel says. Yes.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so like
object
whenever you
fixation.
go to the stripper bar, they got the tassels. It's like
Because what I learnt when I used to paraglide, when I first started learning paragliding, they sent you up with a wing,
hell
and
might
then they'd
want to
go,
go?
if you see a tree,
do not look at it.
don't keep looking at the tree. Because it's like wherever you look, if I look that way, then I automatically turn to that way. But I did see some people, oh God,
Totally.
looked at the tree, looked at the tree, looked at the tree, oh my God, don't hit it, bang.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so attention, you can trap yourself, or you can surrender to something lovely with it. But more on that later. Joe Weldon, you are a rock star. Look at that. Shared with us a YouTube's.
Oh, the Burt Reynolds.
I'm assuming. I
Yeah.
mean, he could have shared anything.
True.
I can't stop the guy. He's Joe Weldon. Jumping Joe Weldon.
Yeah.
Well done.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike, for your question.
And by the way, when I watched your movie, that was the
Black
first thing
Widows.
that I did was I just tuned into like, what's that?
The contract, the one that he put up,
Yes.
Mike.
Not
Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Contract. Yeah, got ya.
Part one.
Excellent.
All right.
Right. The next question's from Dream Driven Day, Jess.
That's right. It's actually 2 questions. I didn't break them up, though.
Okay.
But that's all right.
Let me just put the title
It
in.
doesn't really matter.
Manifesting, having learned.
Learn ya. I'll learn you, girl.
Yeah.
Learn ya.
Jess asks, how do I manifest having learned how to easily use a guitar amp with over 60 different customizable effects without getting caught up on the hows and other middles?
All right, so this is like being a man. Hashtag being a man. see, a man basically, I mean, it's like a man's like a kazoo. Right? There's not much you can do with a kazoo,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
no,
like, let's face it,
I've
right?
heard
But a woman, on the other hand, you guys are like a 60 knob amp kind of thing. There's so many things to do with a woman. You know what I mean? Victoria, you guys are complex, right? Now, here's the thing. I always tell men's this. You want to get along with women? Become actually curious about them. Right? Like, how many ways can you love and appreciate and explore them? Right? I always start off sounding like an asshole, then hopefully sounding like a genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So women's is complex, yes. I mean, and that's the delightful thing. That's what a man actually wants, because as men, we are very simple. Stick a spear in something, bring it home for vittles, right?
What?
Killed the deer, right?
Stick a deer in something and bring it home for
Vittles.
vittles.
Yeah, vittles, right?
What's vittles?
Then the women's, they make all sorts of different vittles out of the deer, right? So as men, we just go, spirit, blah, right? Now women, oh my God, this is why men say, you guys can talk forever about everything, because you guys do. That's the gift, that's the diversity that's built into the feminine, right? Now, for a man to honestly become curious about a woman is to delight in the dance of her. And an amplifier is that. Oh my God, how many things you can adjust and change, and the sounds you can create. It really is it's a dance. It's a lifelong learning
so it's a
dance.
curiosity.
That's it.
Rather than getting caught up in the house.
When you show a photo of it, and I got my right, I go, oh my God, the horror I could create with something like that, right? So I can't have one. I've got puppies, right? So I just become infinitely curious about what all can you do. Just forever. And you're a sharer. Boom. There's the cool thing, right? What all can you do with this damn thing? 60 fucking knobs. Oh, the permutations. So, there's my little rant. Infinitely curious. Infinitely curious. Infinitely curious. And it makes the man a much better man, too. Yeah, the masculine, when it's infinitely curious, oh. At least I find that.
So I just want to say, Brian, thanks for telling us Oliver sends his regards too. He must be out about doing something. And you're about to have a lovely night. You're leaving to watch the refund later because he's having a lovely night. He's getting curious about Ashley. So that's lovely.
All right.
Yeah, sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is, watch how it rolls into question number 2.
Okay.
Whoa, Joshua is here. Joshua, who has just joined our Manifesting Mastery course.
Oh, hi, Joshua.
.com. Boom.
Okay, so that question was from Jess. Thanks loads for your question. I saw you were here too, so that's cool.
And she shared the
and
show.
you shared it.
That's awesome.
All right.
Dark Marker is a sharer too. Look at that.
Is he?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Dark Mockery. Good on ya.
I start naming the people that don't share again. That was always fun. They don't show up anymore. I'm not even showing up for the
no,
show.
because the other day, I don't even remember all the people from.
Yeah, we pointed out all the people that weren't sharing, and they don't come back anymore.
Yeah, but the last show we wanted to mention how Irma had, and was it Chris Nelson? Loads
a lot of
of
people shared the show. Yeah,
and we're going to actually remember your names to thank you.
But we didn't.
But we forgot.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how we are.
The next question's from Dream Driven Day Jake.
No, we didn't do the second part of Jess's.
Oh, sorry. Second part of Jess's. We're still doing yours. So she goes on, what's a lovely, realistic scene that implies that your custody access war became a game or dance instead?
Cool. Watch this. Ready?
That's nice, Jess.
Infinitely curious.
Again. So it's just being curious, because the first part of it about the 60 customizable was being curious, and now this is being curious as well, you reckon?
You reckon? I love when she does the little subtle challenge. You reckon? right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. That's the cool thing, because if we try to set it down, like we want to solve it all so it's not a war anymore, it's all unknown. I'm infinitely curious about how you can have this, however the relationship is, the happy kids, the happy ex, the happy whatever, right? However it all plays. See, my mom and dad were pretty fucking predictable. Right, my dad would pick me up on Saturdays and Sundays, yada yada yada. My mom would hide. Yeah, she had nothing to do with him. She still hides from him. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's sad. It's like, you guys have been divorced almost as
She
long as
hi-
I've been alive.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like that. Y'all could actually communicate. That'd be fun. Right? And so yeah, there's no curiosity there. Versus, what's the curiosity? I'm just curious. What's the dance that you and Daddy and the kiddos can share? And what is it going to be next week? And what is it going to be next week? What is it going to be next week? Yeah, the curiosity is just noticing, like, how's it different? How do you do things differently? Do you like drop the kids off and just geotag them?
This is where he is.
Yeah. Here's the coordinates. Yeah, maybe you put each kid if you've got 3 kids, you put them at 3 different coordinates. Just how could you have fun with it? Like, yeah, fun obviously implies that y'all's getting along somehow. Geotag, yeah. Look up geocaching.com. So that's what I'd do. Just notice, how can you be curious about like a typical, like. One of the things that we did to spice up our marriage is we added in some curiosity.
Really?
Really? Yeah, Adventure Mondays.
Yes.
And Adventure Mondays
That was ace.
was really cool because
Yeah.
the whole thing was like, she picks one, I pick one.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my God. We don't know where the hell we're going from week to week, right?
And then we had what's the word? The max you could have, like on Adventure Monday, we went to a particular suburb that only does real Chinese food. Like, I mean, real congee and
Oh my God,
bits
yes,
on
the
sticks
kanji.
and-
Oh, God. Yeah, nuts and guts.
But what we'd made the game was he chose the place.
Yep, she chooses the
So
dish.
I chooses the dish.
Right,
choose the dish.
and
And
then-
then we went to just for one plate to share, and then we'd go to another one. And I chose the place, like, okay, this looks like I can sit at this table. Sorry. And he chose the dish.
Yeah,
oh my God, I'm not eating that.
Now imagine the fun,
was
right?
funny.
So the amount of curiosity and adventure there, because she goes, "Oh, this place looks safe,"
Yeah.
and I go, "Right? Do you have any nuts and guts kanji?"
Nuts and guts. Yep.
Anyway, let's continue and watch how this evolves into the next one. Nuts and guts.
Yep.
That's right.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you, Jess, for your questions.
Something happened when I was a child. I don't know. I know my mom dropped me down some steps. But anyway.
Don't get it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right.
And now it looks like maybe we didn't get the titles for the next few,
Yeah.
so
We'll make them up as we go along.
yeah. So the next one's from Dream Driven Day, Jake. What do you reckon the title is?
Feeling versus feeling is the secret.
Okay. Feeling versus feeling is the secret.
I am so fucking brilliant.
Jake asks, how do you experience the difference or distinction, between kinesthetic, limbic feelings and the feeling that is the secret? Isn't saying thoughts, emotions, reactions come from your state a sneaky, subtle way of adding meaning?
Okay, answering to the second, no. Answering to the first, right? So it's sort of like that whole thing. So a kinesthetic feeling is literally sensation, right? So she can hear, right? Let's take it into hearing. She can hear me say I love you. She can feel me touch her foot, but she only knows if she knows I love her. So there's the thing, that knowing of, yeah, you know what pizza feels like. Do you know it's for dinner? There's the difference, right? You know what cold pizza feels like. You know what hot pizza feels like. But do you feel the pizza's for dinner? There's the difference. That last little bit, pizza for dinner. On the second thing, thoughts, emotions, reactions all come from a state of... See, adding meaning. I want people to notice that they add meaning to everything. And the way you add meaning will depend upon your state. So even the meanings that you add. So you could say the emotions, reactions, so on and so forth, all those are what they are. And they all do involve meaning. But watch what happens. This takes you way up in your head, and you lose life. Versus coming back down to just noticing, right, is what I'm experiencing contributing to me? So it's almost like too much masculine versus bringing it back to the feminine. Is this giving to me? How is this giving to me? Joe Weldon, we are meaning-making machines. Can't help it. Always making meaning because you're always experiencing something. But are you using this as a way to escape it or explore it? And I'm really big into getting dirty. So let's see where this goes, Jake. Good question for you.
Sweet.
Get it? Good question.
Go. Hello.
you.
Haven't seen you in ages.
Good question for you.
For you, yeah.
Yes.
He's a sneaky
Fuck.
one, that 20.
Good question
Cool.
for you.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Jake, for your question.
Da, da, da.
So now we've got a question. We need a title for the next one.
Yep.
So the next question's from Pekka Tommy
Yep.
from Dream Driven Day. And
Out of my mind. Pecker Tommy's out of his mind.
20's named it out of my mind.
Out of his mind. Something like
Out
that.
of
You'll
his
figure it out.
mind. Okay. And Tommy asks, Manifesting Mastery Week 2, 20, you said while doing the exercises, notice if the mind rebels against the exercises. And I do notice, while doing them, the mind rejects it. And I want to avoid getting into war with all that. So what to do? Stop and be still? Do I keep going and ignore all that head stuff? I definitely want to avoid beating it into submission. Any helps? Thanks.
My guess is you probably experience the mind as the monster. I think it's out there, bigger than you, all that stuff. Maybe nefarious, maybe a little misty or something. Can't really get a grip on it. I love language. I really do. Words do not have power, but they really reveal how people think. Ready? Make up your mind. We just come back to that attitude. Make up your mind. Right? Your mind doesn't. If you don't, your mind will make up all kinds of things. It'll be nefarious. It'll be out there, and I can't grab it. I got to battle with it. And here's one reason why I love Neville, and here's one reason why I keep saying don't mix other shit in, because so many people are mixing in all this shit that just makes it a battle, a war. That like there's something out there, and it's like, have you noticed? There are people that have made up their mind. Fellow at the dog park says, because I mentioned something like, I'm not getting the fucking loogie shot. I have no interest in it. Right? I'm interested in this thing called health. You're not. Right? So bugger the fuck off. And he says something like, well, I would hope more people do the right thing. And I'm like, right. You would hope more people do the right thing. According to who?
Yeah.
Right? And so when I go to that, it's like, it can be a battle. Right? And there's endless battles out there. See, he's made up his mind, right? People should do the right thing, right? So he's going to be at war versus I'm just gone, radio. Right? I'm the commander of my ship. You want to get a shot, you get a shot. I don't care, right? Yeah. But when you say you care if I do, because it's not the right thing if I don't, there's all sorts of weird-ass war. When you bring it back to you, you make up your mind. Just be done with it. The war, it's just avoidance. Yeah, I love the whole thing of turning your swords into plowshares. Yeah.
Your swords into plowshares.
Yep. Yeah, so you can plow. So you take what you've used as a weapon, you turn it into something so that you can garden with. Garden. But more on that later. Victoria.
Okay, excellent.
That's good. That was a good one for Pecker Tommy,
Thank
too.
you, Pekka Tommy.
That's a good question for Pecker Tommy.
He's put you in the same realm as Jake. Excellent. The next question's for two-time Tommy.
Two-time Tommy.
What is a fun... Oh, sorry. So what's the title?
Speedy change, speedy state change.
Speedy state change.
This is so good.
Tommy asks, what is a fun, different way to exit a shitty, sticky state? When I notice I'm in one at any given time on the go, I can't skip in public all the time now.
So remember we talked about this earlier in a way. For you to skip, you have to imagine skipping first. Or you can just imagine people skipping and you'll start to giggle and look at them weird, right? Always remember, it's just about moving. You make up your mind. So we're going to go back to that again. The whole thing, the skipping exercise is not about physically skipping, even though you can. The whole idea is just to notice,
Imagining the skip.
Yeah, we're imagining something that actually moves what you think is you differently. So it's when people tell me, oh, 3D World's bashing the shit out of me. It's like, wow, I'm entertained by it. I actually decided in this loogie time, this special time in history with the loogie and the secret and all these things battling against each other, I asked Victoria one day, I says, yeah, what do you think about subscribing to Apple Plus News for $14.99 a month? Right? It's like almost the price of Manifesting Mastery course.com. It's like manifesting it's like half of the price, right? So we subscribe to to Apple News Plus, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not hiding from the headlines. I love headlines. I find news fascinating. And because it's not bigger than me. It's just called, I just watch the way people spin shit, and I am fascinated by it. So when I look at this, it's the same thing. It's like most people, like, they hide from the news because they feel smaller. Well, it's time for you to discover your bigness. That's a change of state. Another change of state is just realizing it's all fucking comedy. God, it's just fucking hilarious what everyone's writing about. It's like a slow day in the news. Are we going to talk about tennis? I mean, like, there's no loogie news. We talk about tennis in this country. It's fascinating to me. So the best way to exit, move. Really, really fall into a different state. And get Apple News. Why not? I mean,
That's like, good, actually. We get all our magazines, don't we?
Oh, you get lots of magazines. Yeah, I get like 17 magazines I don't read. But more on that later.
Excellent. Okay.
Boom.
So that was the 2-time Tommy.
By the way, notice how you make it slow. I can change my state by physically skipping, so that takes you back to the physical thing versus, right, like, what else can I fall in love with? How else could I experience this? I really do experience news as comedy as well as instructional, like learning how to, like, notice how they write the headlines. Man, I think I'm good at writing headlines and email headlines and so on and so forth, email subject lines. Ooh, man, some of these news people, I mean, they're amazing at the dumb shit that they write that just sucks you right in. So... Boom. Victoria.
Excellent. Cool. The next question's from Dream Driven Day Sizzle.
Yep. 5 minutes of fame.
5 minutes of fame. And Sizzle asks, I can't seem to get past the 5 minutes of fame during sex. He put intercourse in brackets, but I think we get that. Anyway.
Fame.
No matter what I've imagined, except once I did. Could you help me out? Or refer me to a video you already did.
Let's go back to Dream Driven Day. We talk about numbers. How many laps can I swim? So on and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm planking, right? So I do my planks.
Quality versus quantity.
Exactly. And I could probably plank for 5 minutes if I cheated like everyone else does. But what I try to do is get as much involved as possible, right? And so, I mean, I would play with the variety pack. # variety pack, right? Because, like, I mean, like, trust me, at some point you go, yep, I can bang for an hour, right? It's like, man, that's a lot of fucking work. And so I do find sex fascinating because it's at the core of so many things. Get it? That was so clever. Double entendre, right? but here's the fun thing. But play with getting it done within 40 seconds. If you're not done in 40 seconds, you don't get to finish, right? Play with longer, right? Play with slower, right? There's a difference between longer and slower. Try that on, right? There's so many ways to play. And it's sort of like saying, how can I eat hotter Mexican food? Well, that ain't hard, right? Get it?
No.
Mexican food ain't hard.
Oh.
I'm fucking horrible today. Horrible. So, how many ways can you play? So, but let's get to what do you really want. I mean, like, if you're measuring, like, how good was sex? How long was it? Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck, man. Like, longer can be great fun. Shorter can be great fun. So, like, you got 60 seconds. Jesus. Like, we're going to do the countdown. Countdown! There's this thing about the
Go,
number.
go, 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 go.
There's this thing about the number 7. 7! Versus, let's just chunk up a little bit. Oh, this is going to be. Joe says I had sex for an hour 20 minutes last night.
Yeah,
I wish I could have seen his punchline. Right?
Yeah.
Guys at 5.5 to 6. So, yeah, it's not about yeah, how many ways can you play? And if you chunk up, the chunking up is really like, God, like, what if you had one of the best sex lives out of everyone you know? I mean, like, pity the fool. I mean, like, I go to the pool. I go to the pool and I hang out with old people. I really do. Because almost everybody my age or younger is working. The real young ones are working at the pool. Right?
Yeah.
The ones that are a little bit older are the supervisors at the pool.
Yeah.
There's nobody my age. They're all fucking busy. Right? They're working. Right? And here's what I want. I want more people to do the variety pack. Write some articles, develop an internet thing. I mean, like, I talked to one of the swim instructors the other day, and she was like, they just came back, and she said something, and I said, what did you do for money? Because I, honest to God, I didn't get it. Like,
right.
And she goes, oh, I just dipped into my savings. And I thought, wow, you're in your 20s and you got savings. Like, when I was in my 20s, like, savings didn't exist, right? But it's like, first of all, good on you. Second of all, fuck, man. Start a side hustle, something that you'd love, something, because, it is that, how many ways can you play? She's only got one way to play. Yeah, you'll know her. I'm not going to say her name.
No.
But she used to work at a restaurant. The restaurant was found out to be a money laundering gig or something like that. So they sold it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So she lost that job, and then she was
The
just...
Lebanese restaurant.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Lebos.
I don't think the owners were Lebanese, but yeah,
All right,
they
anyway.
did get busted for money
They
laundering.
were Italians or something, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, how many ways can you play? Yeah, I guess that sort of sums it up. I don't think I did a good job of tying that together, but
No.
but that's fine.
But you had
I'll
some
bring
good
it in the
points
next one.
earlier on.
Yeah, I did. I had great points earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Where the
So
fuck
that was
I
Dream
going
Driven
with
Day
that? What?
Sizzle.
Talk about the side hustle. Anyway, it'll come together. We'll bring it into caters.
Thank you very much for your question. Thanks, Scott. Cool.
That's right.
The next question's from Kadra on Facebook,
That's right.
and we've titled it
Let's call it Joseph Goddard.
Joseph Goddard.
Yep.
Okay.
Boom.
Kadra asks, I've been playing with multiple buns in the oven while remaining in bed or during a nap. Reconciling one wish equals one session equals nailing. Feels it contradictory with putting multiples in the oven. I'm a damn good baker. If I'm looping something continuously until it feels real, how do I then transition to another wish?
Cool. Just stop there. That's cool.
Okay.
Cool. Ready? When I know it's for lunch, right? You ever so Victoria and I, we go out for the meal, right? So like we go to the Lebanese
meal.
place when we would go there before they didn't have it no more. So we go to the Lebanese place and we pick that first little thing we eat. What do we call it? Is it an appetizer or is that what they call it in here?
An entree. But
An entree,
yeah,
starter
yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And then so we nail that, and then we nail our mains, and then we nail our desserts, right?
Yes.
And drinks, right?
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
And to me that's what it's like, because when you nail, right, what I want is one of those blue beers, right? So give me one of the blue beers, and she orders a red wine, and I got a blue beer. I don't have to nail the drink anymore. Now it's time to get to the first thing. Then it's time to get to the second thing. Then it's time to get to the third thing, right? And like once you nail it, and you literally experience the Sabbath around that, there's nothing more you need to do with that.
That's a really good example, actually. I can imagine that. Like,
I thought that
once
was
I
brilliant.
want to drink, oh yeah, I'll have that. And it's like, as you
Done.
said, yeah, it's done.
It's done.
It's like the next thing. What do I want for a starter?
Yeah, what's your next desire?
Yeah.
With a multiple tiered meal, that's pretty much the simple way it goes.
Yeah.
And that's how I do anything. I mean, fuck, before I get out of bed, it's like, right, one of my typical day events of my day having gone my way. It's like, first one's taking a good poop. So I imagine getting up off the thing, having like texted Joe Weldon, like, hey, Joe, I'm dropping the kids off the pool. Boom. How you doing? Gaza, dropping the kids off the pool. Boom, right?
Yeah.
Perry Belcher. Boom, right? That's like, yep, time to get up, make the coffee, right? So then I imagine like having nailed the coffee and then having nailed the podcast. But I really do. I pick specific events of my day, nailing them, already having gone my way. What would that actually be like? And it's like ordering a drink. I'm done with the drink. Cool. What's the next thing you want? You know what I want? I'm not having 2 desserts, right? And that just fucks everyone up at the table. But that's the whole thing. Consider it like the items in a meal. When you nail one level of the meal, you nail the next level of the meal, the next level of the meal. Done. That's what I'd do. Cool. And by the way, if it all comes from understanding, see, here's the trap a lot of people go into. I'll prevent this one. I'm just imagining the best day ever, right? And then it's like, I don't have to imagine anything. Well, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Right? For me to walk up to the letterbox, I have to imagine walking up to the letterbox without falling flat on my face, right? Right? So why not? You can always start with the whole thing of just really just feeling like, ooh, right? Just find that, fall asleep a little bit, wake back up. What would I like to my hoo-ha? Boom. What else? Hoo-ha, boom. Right? Just, there's your bits. There's your bits. Great question.
Yeah.
Boom.
I won't read any more.
That's all right. That's good.
All about
yeah. Because I think we nailed it right there.
Yeah, you have, babe. Yep.
Cool. And the last bit you're imagining all day long. So as soon as the desire comes up, right? We're at the dog park and I see my friend and I go, but I forgot to imagine a good time with him before I get out of the car. So, boom.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, Kadra, for your question.
And double T for making it so easy and fun.
At the end. The next question's from Diana on Facebook.
Where was I going with the thing at the girl at the pool and it's going to mystify me.
Oh, yeah, where have you been? Oh, I lived off my savings. That girl.
Yeah. Like, I know it tied in somehow, but anyway. That's right.
Okay. The next question's from Diana on Facebook.
I really am puzzled. I normally don't totally lose where I'm going with stuff like that.
No, you don't.
I mustn't have nailed that this morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Mystified. I'll remember it in the middle of a podcast. Whoa!
Yeah. Okay, and what are we titling Diana's?
Oh, I didn't even read this one. Let's just call it War. War.
Okay. So Diana asks, hi, I know it's me creating the world's worst neighbours and landlords. I want to easily imagine my dream home, yet it feels so difficult. My last 5 rentals were so bad, I'm traumatised. How can I shift to diving into the imaginal state of dream home when my 3D experiences have got a hold on me? If I continue to attract angry screamers and everyone is me pushed out, am I an angry screamer within?
You're definitely listening to people that aren't me. I can definitely see that. So you'll notice I don't talk about 3D versus 4D kind of thing and this whole everyone is me pushed out kind of thing. Yeah. Here's what I notice. Your imaginal act leads your physical experience. Your imaginal experience leads your physical experience. So if I continue to imagine angry screamers, without adding in any... See, if you continue to attract angry screamers...
Or the reverse even, which still doesn't work. If I stop thinking about or attracting angry screamers, if I stop Do you know what I mean? It's like either way, it's focused on the angry screamers.
Exactly. So if we skip the 3D versus 4D and
Yeah.
the whole "it's all me pushed out" kind of thing,
Yeah.
and just really just know this: what do you want? What do you want? See, just because you haven't doesn't mean you can't. You know, I haven't had lunch yet today. Doesn't mean I can't have lunch today, right?
I missed probably part of that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I
I'll get
haven't
it in
had
the
lunch
edits.
today
Right.
doesn't mean
Oh, I can't
I
have
can't
lunch
have
today.
lunch today.
Got ya.
Right?
Yeah.
But if I imagine upright, well, like like I had like a shitty snack the other day, and then like it just am I attracting shitty snacks? Is it all me pushed out? 3D versus 4D. Again, that just gets nuts. I go right to the core. Again, I know Neville mentioned the word 3D. Some people worship it for some reason. This whole thing with it's everyone is me pushed out. Oh, fuck, that gets just weird the way most people are doing it. Here's the thing. If I'm you pushed out, what's that say about you? Right? And this is where people go with this stuff, right? Here's what I notice. Billy Clinton, right, used to be the president of the United States of America. Some people had strokes because of the guy. It really wasn't because of Billy. It was because of what they imagined about him, right? Some people smoked cigars because of the guy. Right? Some people did other things with cigars. We're not even going to talk about that, right? But it was all based upon what they were imagining up in their life, right? Here I am decades later, just still making fun of Chili Billy, right? And here's the cool thing, because if we drop it all, what do you want? What's your desire? You want to have a peaceful home life? What would it be like waking up to coffee and a peaceful home life? I wake up, it's nice and quiet here. Like I said, I text Joe Weldon and Gaza while I'm dropping the kids off at the pool. Then I go make coffee, right? End of the day, enjoy a little whiskey, Maybe I go text Joe Weldon and Gaza again while I'm dropping the kids off at the pool. It's nice and quiet here. And that's the cool thing, because you just get to notice, right? What do I want to accept into my life today? That's all I'm going to give space for. And that just gets rid of the whole 3D versus 4D. Just watching over there. Birds just went up in an alarm system. Just noticing, what am I giving room to? Don't give room to concepts that just get confusing. Don't give room to, if you had 5 last rentals that were so bad, feel free to revise them once. If they impacted yesterday, just revise yesterday. And just be done with it. There's the big thing. Just be done with it. So.
Did I hear the door?
No.
Okay.
Cool. All right. I think that's good.
That's good. Yes. So.
It's me creating the worst neighbors and landlords. God, I once almost shot one of my landlords. I was telling Cuba about this the other day.
Oh.
Yeah, I was getting my truck worked on, so I didn't have a car outside. And he didn't think I was home. I was sleeping. It was the middle of the evening, so it was like dusk. And so my landlord sneaks into the apartment. Right, he's got a little flashlight, and he's nosing around, and of course I didn't know it was him. Right, so I roll out of bed, right, nice and slow, and I can hear like somebody opening drawers and stuff like that. So I produce my little Jennings 22 and lock and load, right? He rounds the corner and flashes his flashlight
and you're
beam.
There.
and a little Jennings 22. I mean, it's only like that big, the hole, right? But whenever you're like in someone's apartment, you shouldn't be there. It looks like it's that fucking big, right? Needless to say, he kept my security deposit when I moved out.
He what?
He kept my security deposit when I moved out.
Did he? Well, what did he do that night? Did he
shit himself?
Say sorry or something?
Oh, he said, I thought I heard a noise. I said, yeah, it was somebody sleeping in his apartment, Ray. You're not supposed to do that. But the long story short, all right, if I kept imagining landlords are shitty, I would have had shitty landlords after that. Versus like, I just imagined...
You were a dick,
yeah,
but the next one's not.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Felt that in the past. So, boom. Joe, it'll stop a charging hamster at 30 paces. I could pluck out... I mean, I was an expert with that little Jennings, little 22. I put like 50 rounds a week through it. Just like clockwork. Right? It's cheap.
Cool.
All
That's
right.
great.
Little
Okay,
side
thank you,
irrelevance.
Diana, for your question. And the last question today is from, is that Gaza?
No,
No. The last question today is
that's not
from
guess.
Gary.
Right.
Well, just because you put Gary, so I thought. Anyway, homeless next week. Oh, okay,
This
it's
came in
not.
through
Of
an
course,
email.
it's not Gaza.
Yo,
Gary
Usha.
asks, making this about money is important as I've been dealing with problems in that area for years. And in spite of my working with Neville's teachings for about 2 years now, it's still a problem for me. In fact, in a week from right now, I'm going to be without my home.
So I'm tossing this in. This came in through an email, and I just grabbed it real quick because it fits in perfectly. What are you imagining about tomorrow? If we go through most of the questions today, what are you imagining about tomorrow? I'll just hit these real quick as a super summary.
Yes.
I need help getting into SATs in an easy way. Are you imagining you're going to have problems getting into SATs tomorrow?
Got you.
Self-concept, I'm not productive, I'm lazy, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you imagining about your tomorrow?
Yeah, still lazy.
So, see,
Yeah,
I'm
got
out of
you.
bed 4:30, 4:30 pretty much every day. Mike's had nothing to do with tomorrow.
No.
Just
Yeah, learning the
tomorrow.
guitar.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, what will you learn tomorrow? That
Yeah.
curiosity thing.
Yeah.
And with the kids, tomorrow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder where he'll stash the kids when he drops them off tomorrow. Like, we're going to
It's a game.
geocaching for
Yeah.
kids. Yay. Jake. I really didn't have anything to do with tomorrow. That was a good question for Jake. Love you, buddy. Pecker Tommy. Yep. Well, doing that with the mind, well, you stop and be still, ignore the head stuff. Are you imagining the head will be a problem tomorrow?
Two-time Tommy.
Two-time Tommy. Shitty state, skip in public. How often do I get into shitty states? All the fucking time. Right? You can slip into easily slide into a shit state. I look over and I want to know what the fuck what's going on over there, right? Yeah, my attention goes over there. You got it? Going back to the attention question. But it's like, oh, okay, no big deal, right? Dismiss it. Just like my old landlord. Anyway, DDD Sizzle. Oh, yeah.
What he's imagining tomorrow.
You know what I'm imagining tomorrow?
Slow.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
K-Dra.
Jake's questions are timeless, yo.
Oh.
K-Dra. Bop, 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 bop. The thing on looping something continuously till it feels real. You can do that. We talk about that in one of the MM lessons. But just till you nail it. Boom. What are you imagining about tomorrow? What am I imagining about later today? There's the whole Joseph Goddard method that I like.
Diana, with the neighbours, what are you imagining for tomorrow?
What are you imagining tomorrow?
So, Gary, yes.
And
You'll
Gary.
still have your home tomorrow, Gary.
Or not.
So well, he said in a week from right now, he's going to be without his home.
Right. No,
But,
it's
yeah,
cool.
what are you imagining?
Yeah, like really? Have you accepted that? If so, see your house, right? If not, it's still in play. Or you think roulette. All right, and there's things we didn't talk about, but that's fine. All right, Victoria.
Okay, so
Done.
that was for
I'm done with this.
an email from Gary. Thank you very much for your question.
Gary.
And what we want to know right now is, well, if I could open this card.
Oh my God.
Tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry bit?
What was your strawberry bit, Victoria?
Don't know. I like that at the end, actually, the question you asked. What are you imagining for tomorrow? And how, whatever crappy state you're in today, or you got problems for today, like what are you imagining for tomorrow as a way of looking forward to something different? Being
Totally.
curious as well ties into that. Yeah. So that's my strawberry bit. Hashtag strawberry bit.
Hashtag strawberry bit.
What was yours?
Getting lost. I still don't know where I was going with that one analogy dealing with the swim
girl.
teacher and dipping into savings. I wonder if it had to do with the curiosity thing. I just can't remember. And that's got me puzzled. So my strawberry bit
Well,
is...
you did, sorry, just briefly, you did say wow, because for you had no savings when you were 20. That wasn't part of it, was it? No.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But yeah, cool.
You'll remember in the pool.
I'm wondering if I was just thinking about where else can you play, because just having one paycheck, right? One, yeah, like when they close the pool. I mean, she's sort of screwed. Yeah, that kind of thing. Versus like two paychecks, at least she had a chance. That kind of thing. But I can't remember. But tomorrow.
Yep. Okay. So that was our hashtag Strawberry
I had
Bits.
something brilliant there.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know.
Oh, it always feels like that when you forget. It's like it was really important. That's what I always think.
Really
It was
important.
really important. I really wanted to say it, and now I
Yes.
forgot what it was.
That's right.
Anyway,
So, Victoria,
yes, while you guys type in yours, go to freeneville.com.
221 email this pseudo.
Random goodness.
Yeah, do the easy manifesting things too, because that's a lot of fun, right? Easymanifesting.com.
Yeah.
That's right.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Yep.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel,
it.
feelitrealfun.com.
All right, Victoria.
Yes.
You're going to go have fun in the garden.
I am.
That's
Oh,
right.
I've got to do the dog chicken just
Dog
first,
chicken.
as in prep it.
Bum bum bum.
Yes, and then I'm going out to have fun in the garden, listen for a bell from the delivery driver for your whiskey, my iPad.
Hoo-ha. Don't
I'm
confuse
getting
the
two
two.
deliveries, yes.
That's right.
Explore longer and shorter.
Yes.
That's probably a good one for Sizzle.
That's the short
Okay.
and the long of it.
See you guys. Have a great day, night.
Have a lovely day, guys.
Yeah.